yo, yo, yo. When you reach your turn, try make sure you show some love. Cause you never know, terrific change when tomorrow show. See, maybe nothing in this life, you know. Do good oh, while you can, oh. And it make you start from yard, oh. As you dey go, so don't forget home, oh. Don't forget area when you don't blow. As you dey go, so don't forget home, oh. People wey dey there when life is slow, slow, slow. As you dey go, so don't forget home, oh. Don't forget area when you don't blow, blow, blow. As you dey go, so don't forget home, oh. People wey dey there when life is
To
slow,
get a
slow,
good
slow.
angle.
As you dey go, so don't forget home, oh. Don't forget area when you don't blow, blow, blow. As you dey go, so don't forget home, oh. People wey dey there when life is slow, slow, slow. My papa tell me say for life, oh,
Who is joining us from
money fit
Zambia?
to change a man, oh. So when you get up, make you humble, oh.
How come everyone didn't receive the email?
So you not go lose your way. See, baby, put up for your mind, oh. Say this life not cycle. You know fit run a man low. As you dey go, so don't forget home, oh. Don't forget area when you don't blow, blow, blow. As you dey go, so don't forget home, oh. People wey dey there when life is slow, slow, slow. As you dey go, so don't forget home, oh. Don't forget area when you don't blow, blow, blow. As you dey go, so don't forget home, oh. People wey dey there when life is slow, slow, slow. Oh God, take a miss yo, bio, bio, bio. Oh, remember life not turn by turn, yo, yo, yo. When you reach your turn, try make sure you show some love. Cause you never know, terrific change when tomorrow show. See, maybe nothing in this life, you know. Do good oh, while you can, oh. And it make you start from yard, oh. As you dey go, so don't forget home, oh. Don't forget area when you don't blow, blow, blow. As you dey go, so don't forget home, oh. People wey dey there when life is
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
good
good
evening,
evening,
guys.
guys.
I don't
I
know
don't
if
know if
my
my
sound is
sound is
okay.
okay.
Let me
Let
know
me
if
know if
you can
you
get
can
me
get me
loud and
loud
clear.
and clear.
Am I
Am I
audible?
audible?
You mute one of
You
the
should mute yourself. Yeah.
devices here.
Okay,
Okay.
then
Then
this
this
one.
one.
Okay, am I good?
Yes.
All right, yeah. Some of these things are not easy when you're doing it alone. Yeah, so I'm really glad that we're able to do this. Yeah, I'm really, really happy that we're finally having this session. Yeah, all thanks to our speakers who decided to spare their time to make this happen. Yeah, so I'm glad we're finally having this. So, some shout out to some of the people I'm seeing on the call. Yeah, we have our speaker who is already here, Felix, joining us from I think Fez, Morocco. Yeah, we also have
I'm in
Robson.
fancy. Yeah.
We also have Robson who is joining us from Casablanca. So Robson is not far from me. Yeah, I'm also live in Casablanca. Yeah, Casablanca, Morocco. I see Sonia also, one of our speakers. She's joining us from Nigeria. I'm trying to remember the state actually, but yeah, forgive me. I think it's Oyo State. Yeah, so she's joining us from Oyo State. She's one of
Private
our
state.
Akwa Ibom State, yeah, Akwa Ibom State. Yeah, Uyo is the capital, so forgive me. Yeah, she's one of our speakers today, so I can see her on the call. We are glad to have you guys. Also, I see Ashby. Yeah, currently I don't know which city Ashby is joining us from. Yeah, but I see Ashby. I see Innocent who is joining us from Zambia. I see Barrington who is joining us from Agadi. I see also Joseph Amono who is joining us from Rabat Saleh, Aisha Usman. Yeah, sorry if I'm not able to mention your name. I'll call your name towards the end. Yeah, so good evening once again, and you guys are all welcome to the Tech Hangout. Yeah, we're just going to chat, chill, and get to answer some of the questions you guys would be having. So I think without any further ado, as they say it. I don't know if I said it right. Yeah. Without any waste of time, I think we'll just go straight in to hear from our speakers what they have to tell us. And yeah, so these are it will go. We'll first of all have a little introduction, get to know our speakers. So like their names, their background, like what they are currently doing or what they are into. Yeah, they just tell us a bit about themselves and probably a summary of their journey. So I think we can say each speaker is going to have 5 minutes. Yeah, so 5 minutes, and then that means it's going to be 15 minutes that we're going to give them. And then after that, we jump into the questions. I really saw a lot of interesting questions, and we might not be able to treat everything today, yeah, but definitely we're going to have other sessions, and then we'll get to answer all your questions, yeah. And then also definitely questions will arise from today's session. So as they're talking, you might probably have like something to ask, so you can either use the chat box or wait when it's time for like the question, like the Q&A. Yeah, so I think that's it. So I'll go first. So Philip Shedrack, yeah, by name, and I'm currently in Morocco. I am a data analyst. Yeah, I work here in Casablanca. So that's just it about me. I don't think I will have 5 minutes to talk about myself, my journey. Today is not about me. We have our speaker, so I'll be your host for tonight. And yeah, so let's go, as they say, ladies first. So I don't know if we should go with ladies first or we'll go alphabetically. How do you guys want it, our speakers?
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
No, I think I would prefer to hear from her. How do you want it, Sonia?
Okay, let me just go.
Okay, if you don't mind turning on your camera, yeah, our speakers, so that they
Oh,
get to see you.
I mind. Sorry.
Okay, for you, yeah, you mind because you're still on the way and all that. So yeah, no problem. But Felix and Robson,
Not today.
these
Not.
guys, okay, no problem. Yeah, I guess in the next section. Felix, you too.
Yeah, not today.
Okay, No problem. So let's go, Sonia. The floor is yours. So just
Okay.
um
Hi everyone. I'm Sonia Uduma, and I'm a front end engineer at Chat Desk. I started my journey in 2020, and I've been a front end engineer for over 3 years. My main stack is JavaScript, so React, JavaScript. I write a bit of backend Java, particularly Grails framework, and I do a bit of Node.js too for Java. I also do mobile development, a bit
interesting.
React Native. I guess that's all for me for now.
Okay, interesting, interesting. All right, so I think we can go. We'll come back to her. So we'll go gradually. So Felix, let's go.
Oh, okay, yeah. Good evening, guys. Yeah. So I'm Felix Asante, originally from Ghana, but I'm currently based in Morocco. Yeah. So I'm also a front end engineer. Yeah, I do more front end engineering. Let me put it that way. I'm more into front end engineering, and I work with a company in Morocco here. And yeah, I also do for my aspect. I do front end web and mobile development. Yeah, so front end web and mobile, and sometimes I just do a little bit of Go and other stuff. And also, yeah, but I'm more into JavaScript. So basically, front end JavaScript frameworks and JavaScript backend technologies. Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
but currently, yeah,
okay, go ahead.
yeah, okay, yeah. So I'm currently focusing on DevOps. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I'm a
Hmm.
beginner in DevOps. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now. And yeah, my journey started in, should I say, I think mid 2019, but I became more serious from I think 2020 and up to now. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So that's
interesting.
that's that's it.
This guy, you're about to be a full tech company because now you're rolling and switching to DevOps. Ah, okay, I see. We're coming back to that. Interesting. Uh Robson, Rob G, the floor is yours.
Felix is an IT department.
I tell you.
Oh no, just trying.
All right. Hi, everyone. So my name is Rapson Piri, originally from Zambia, but currently in Casablanca, Morocco. And this is where I'm working as a software engineer. And like the other speakers, I work most on the front end. So that means I work a lot with JavaScript. Currently, I work mostly with Vue as the library, but I've also done like React, like on my own personal projects. And I also do like backend stuff, mostly with Python these days. Uh, I work mostly with Django as a framework.
Hmm.
And my journey started, I think, professionally in 2021. That means like actually working, but I was also like doing programming on my own way before that. So yeah, that's mostly about me. I think we'll get to know each other as we move on.
Okay, interesting. I feel like today it seems like we're having a front end party because it seems like everyone introduced themselves. Sonia says she's a front end engineer, front end dev. Felix came. I was not expecting Felix to also say that, or because I know he prefers front end, even though he's more of a full stack. Yeah, but now he went to the front end aspect. And Robson, I knew that Robson was going to go straight up front end. Robson has always been a front end guy. So it seems like we're having much of a front end party today. But nevertheless, these guys, they are full stack. Yeah, Robson and Felix, they really, really work on every aspect. So be it front, be it back, and you could even hear from their introduction that they're into mobile dev, that's mobile development. And Sonia as well, she touches a bit of the back end, and she says she does mobile development also, which is very interesting. Yeah, so those of you who are interested in back end development, please don't feel sad. Yeah, you're not left behind. So they still have, they're still fully loaded, so they're here for you guys also. All right, so Sonia, back to you. You know, you guys, just a little background story. Actually, Sonia is not coming from like the science background, science and technology background. So she's coming from a whole different background. Like she has uh how do you guys say it? Art background or art, yeah. So she's coming from a different background. She did like art in school, and yeah, now she's into IT. Now she's into tech. So like, how has it been? Like, how was it like for you? So can you tell us like your background and then how it was for you, like getting to switch?
Okay, so I studied history and international studies in school.
History, you can imagine.
And I mean, I've been a person that always loved tech, and it was unfortunate that I had to like study art in school because of some issues. I had to switch. I had to go to art, but then later on during my final year, I think that's around the COVID time, lockdown period, where I had like a lot of time on my hands to try out things I always wanted to do because I mean I couldn't do this while I was actively in school. But I guess the lockdown gave me the opportunity. So I was like, okay, let me just try this out. So I just got like a course on Udemy. I learned HTML and CSS, and it was like so interesting for me. And I said, okay, let me just try this out and see. I mean, for me, when I started, it was not something that, oh, I want to enter tech to like earn a lot of money. It was just something I was trying out and just because I did a lot of things that time. I tried YouTubing, I tried writing, I tried a whole lot of things. And I guess tech just stuck for me. And like, I was like, okay, let me just try this. And I mean, it was not really easy for me because I was coming from an art background and I didn't really know anything about computers and I didn't have like a mentor and it's sort of harder if you don't have someone guiding you. So um I guess I really love this to be honest for me to like persevere and still be doing it up to today and I still like it up to today. So so that's just it. It has not been easy but it's totally doable.
Okay,
And
interesting.
yeah.
So we have Sonia now, a front-end dev coming from history background. So if you're also on the call wondering, is it possible for me to switch and change and learn these stuffs and be good at it? I guess you got your first answer. Yeah. So what about you, Felix and Robson? What was your background like? Are you coming from the science
For
background,
me,
IT?
yeah, yeah, I'm coming from the science background.
Okay. IT right from day
Yeah, yeah,
one.
for me, yeah, for me, I think I had I had the aim to do this IT stuff when I finished junior high school. So when I graduated, I just wanted to do science. Then after senior high school, I just moved to IT. Yeah, so that was yeah. So for me, yeah, it has been IT since high school.
Okay, interesting, interesting. Robson,
Yeah, so for me in high school, I was teaching myself like some IT stuff, but I wasn't in like an IT class, even though there was one. And initially at uni, I wanted to do medicine because that's what I life happened. Yeah, that's what I applied for. So, but I didn't start doing medicine. That's what I'd applied for. But at some point, I made the switch to computer science. That was here in Morocco. So yeah, it's been computer since then.
interesting. I don't know, probably Robson would have been at the hospital right now or still been in school trying to figure out his way with those medical polycopies. That's an interesting
Probably.
ride. Yeah. So I don't know so far if you guys are having any questions. Yeah, you can drop them in the chat box. Yeah, we'll definitely go over those questions that you're having, and then even the ones that you had already asked before the call. Yeah. So I think the next question I was having that I wanted to find out was you guys said some started 2 years ago, some started 3 years ago, and I think based on that calculation, it seems like you were still perhaps in school and stuffs like that. So I don't know. At what point did you like start uh getting compensation for what you were doing? So like was there a point where you were in school and then you were doing like this thing, like should I say a has a side also, and then you were able to get something, or you were not able to until you fully graduated from school? Sonia?
Okay. So for me, I would say I started like I got a job um a year after I started learning, and that was because okay, so I started learning around August of 2020, and that was like during the whole lockdown. And 2021 January, I had to go back to school, so that sort of like slowed me down in my learning because I had to take like a month break actually because I was like in final year and had project, I had a lot of things going on, so I took a break for like 1 2 months really. And yeah, I got a job like I'll say a year after I started learning, and I was still in school that time. So I said I got a job when I was still in school. I mean, it was not easy, but yeah, I got a job when I was still in school, and that's it,
Okay,
really.
interesting. So I just wanted to understand, like, from your environment, if it was possible for one to like get a tech job, a tech role, whilst like still being a student, or you have to first of all have a degree, you have to finish all these ta ta ta. Like, so I just wanted to.
No, you don't really need to have a degree. I mean, I studied history, and up to today, no one has ever asked me for my degree or what I studied in school. They just care about my project and like what I've done and my experiences, really. So there's never been an issue of school, of degree or what I studied. Yeah,
Okay.
that's never been an issue getting jobs. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. That's very interesting. I think I'll come back to Felix and Rapson on that same question, but now I think I would like to hear from our audience. Yeah. So some of you did send your questions while registering. I don't want to go ahead to read them. I want to because I'm not sure if everyone who registered is on the call. So I want to give priority to those who are on the call. So I think we can just go ahead, one person, someone, if you want to speak, like ask your question, what you sent, or a different question you're having currently, you can just raise your hand and then we give you the floor. Yeah. Anyone having any questions so far, either from what they've said or what you already asked? Yeah. Okay, this screen, I'm not able to see all the participants, so I can't see all the hands that are being raised. Is anyone raising the hands? Let me see from here. Okay, if you spot any, just let me know. Ah, does that mean no one on the call have a question? Okay. Robson, you were saying something.
No, no, it's fine.
Okay. So I think for me, one thing that have been crucial, and one of the objective of this particular call was to really help people get a clear roadmap on how to go. Yeah, so I think that's one of the things
There's
that
a
was.
hand. Sorry, Shadrach, there's a hand.
Yeah, there is a hand, I
Okay,
think.
Innocent
Innocent.
has raised his hand, so yeah, we'll give him the
So yeah,
floor.
we'll give him the floor.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah,
So
Innocent, go ahead.
yeah, Innocent.
Okay, good evening, guys. I have a question about those people who said they are doing JavaScript. There's a lot of content on the internet about how to learn JavaScript front end and back end. I would like to know what are some of the resources that helped everyone in terms of learning like efficiently, because there's so much information that one can end up being confused, for example, or you might end up being having information that is not even relevant. So what are some of the sources, or what are some of the things someone's supposed to do to have that experience of JavaScript in, I would say, efficiently and with a short period of time? Thank you.
Okay. Before we jump into that, I think it's a very important question. So we'll definitely come back to that. Yeah, I was saying one thing for me has always been the issue of roadmap. Yeah, you want to get into tech, you want to be a software engineer, you want to do front end dev, you want to do back end dev, like you need guidance. I don't know if you heard one of the things that Sonia said, like you need like a proper guidance in order for you to like navigate your way to get to your final destination. Yeah, so I would want our speakers to highlight on that. Like for you, like how was it? How was it like? What was the learning journey for you, and then what would be your recommendation? Yeah. So I think right now we can start with Felix, then we'll move to Robson and then come back to Sonia.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Innocent. Thanks for the question. And I think yeah, which your question, I think what I would say is it's not everything that you have to consume on the internet, especially when it comes to JavaScript. First of all, if JavaScript is something that it's you can't really like like how you based on my understanding to the question you have, you can't really get JavaScript at a go. So what our advice is maybe this MDN documentation, you spend some time on it, and there is also one other particular website I will share in the chat, and which you can follow. So normally JavaScript, if you are learning JavaScript, you shouldn't be what you have to do is like the foundation is really important. So you really have to have a strong foundation. Like even if it's variables, functions, and other stuff, like study those concepts really, really well. And maybe after some weeks of spending time with it, then I will advise you to start building projects. Yeah, in my experience, I would say focus on the basics, like the basic stuffs. Then afterwards, forget about the advanced concepts. Then you just start building projects. Just keep on building projects. You realize along the line you start learning most of the advanced courses, because this most of these advanced courses, they come with, you get to understand them with experience. And at the beginning, if you try to master them while you are learning your basic, it will become very difficult. It will push you to stop learning JavaScript. That's one thing I've noticed. When a lot of people say JavaScript is difficult, that's one of the things that I noticed they do, was they try to understand most of the advanced concepts while they are learning their basics. So I advise you to focus on the basics, have a solid foundation, then start building projects. You will get to understand JavaScript and be more efficient using it if you build more projects. And along the line, you will learn most of these advanced courses without even sitting to learn most of them. You get the understanding, and when you pick them to learn, it will become very easy for you. Yeah, I think that's what I have to say.
Okay, okay, that's nice. So Robson, how can one become a front end engineer?
All right, so I think I'll just build up on what Felix said, on the part especially of mastering the basics and the foundations, because like
Basics and
personally,
foundations of what? Sorry to cut you. For
so
just joining in.
it's talking about JavaScript, right?
No,
So
yeah, Felix did talk about JavaScript. So now, like the question for you is, how does one like become a front end dev? So in fact, maybe I should first of all
yeah.
ask, who is a front end dev, and then how do we become a front end dev, like front end developer? Because there are a lot of people who have been eager to know about this.
Okay, so basically, when we're talking about the front end, I'll say we're talking about the part of an application or website that the people interact with, right? Like, or you go to a website and the part that you see and you're able to interact with, that's the front end part. And then there's the logic that happens like behind the scenes. Of course, that's the back end. And since this question is about front end, so that's the one I'm going to talk about now. Like how you can move into front end engineering, I would say the because it's based on JavaScript, right? Like when you're talking about front end, it's basically JavaScript, and there are a lot of JavaScript things out there, libraries, frameworks, and everything. So before you try and learn any of these, I think it's very important, firstly, that you master the basics and the foundations of the language itself, which is JavaScript. Because once you know the basics and foundations, it will be easy for you to be able to learn any of these frameworks like Vue or React, for example. So yeah, like Felix said, master the basics and the foundations of the language. Do not try to skip through to go to like the advanced concepts. But just to add on that, do not spend so much time trying to learn the entire language, because some people they want to learn everything about the language, which I don't think is even possible. You spend years and years and you won't learn anything. So start building projects as soon as possible, so that whatever you learn, it can be solidified through those projects. So I hope that answers the question. If not, you can let me know and I'll clarify.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So, just for your information, the link that Felix did talk about have been posted on the chat. So, yeah, you can save it somewhere. Yeah, innocent and those who are interested in front end. Yeah. So back to you, Sonia. How was it like for you becoming a front end dev? Like you talked about one the thing that you did was buying a course online in order for you to like educate yourself. So like what was the content of that course and how helpful was that?
Sorry, I lost you for a bit if you asked me a question.
Yeah, I was saying you talked about in your journey, one of what you did was to buy a course on Udemy and then um you followed the course and then yeah you were able to navigate your way. So I was asking what was the content of that course and then how helpful was it?
Okay, so it was a full stack course. It had like front end and back end, the whole JavaScript ecosystem. That's like okay, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then there's back end part, Node and Express. So for me, what I usually do is so the course is sort of like a curriculum for me, right? I would say a roadmap really. So if I'm learning about a particular topic on the course, I because no tutorial is going to teach you everything, but they'll most times touch on the basics and the important things. So let's say I'm learning about a particular feature on JavaScript and I watch it on the course. I also go to YouTube and like maybe watch one or two crash courses on that particular topic or feature and try to build like a small project because that's like Felix and Rapsin said, that's the only way you're going to actually learn JavaScript because maybe you can just be watching the course and be like, oh, this is so easy and I can do it, but time for implementation and you find out that you cannot do it actually. So what I do is the course is like a curriculum for me when they are teaching a particular topic on the course and I watch it on the course and because the course actually have like little tests at each point in time. So I also go to YouTube and watch like crash courses on that topic and that's just it. I try not to like look at because so many like let's say tutorials and articles on JavaScript because I mean JavaScript developer and I know that the ecosystem is crazy. There are like new frameworks popping up every day. So I just try to learn the basics really. And I mean the basics and you can learn any other framework. You don't even need to. I mean, if you know the basics, you know React, and maybe you know a bit of Vue, you can literally pick up any other JavaScript framework anytime you want. So, yeah, just know the basics and try not to look at a lot of. I try not to look at a lot of other tutorials because it can get overwhelming also. And yeah, that's just it, really.
Okay, okay, that's good, interesting. So I'm picking out one of the questions that was asked. Yeah, and it says what is the most beginner friendly roadmap to learn full stack web development? So I think now that we're on front end, wow, we have few more minutes. Yeah, we have 15 more minutes for the call. So yeah, I think would go fast now. Yeah, so I think now would share it we'll divide it into two, the front and then the back. So uh what is the most beginner friendly roadmap to learn, let me see, front end and back end? So I'm going to share it for Felix and Robson. Most beginner friendly roadmap. So Robson, you can go first for front and then I think Felix would go for the back.
Okay, since we've touched quite a bit on the front end. I think mentioned JavaScript, obviously, and obviously you're going to need to learn like HTML and CSS. Like you need to learn those. There's no other way.
No
So
argument.
yeah, you can start. You can I would say start with HTML and CSS. Learn how to make some static websites. I think that will give you like a head start. With you can just do something with HTML and CSS, and then learn how to make the website interactive by incorporating JavaScript. And then once you have a solid foundation in these three, then you can start adding on a framework on top, because most I think like a lot of even jobs and websites I see these days, they require some sort of framework like React or Vue or something like that. So you do your HTML and CSS, make the static websites, learn how to use JavaScript to those websites, and then uh, potentially add on a framework like React or Vue on top. So I
Okay.
think, yeah,
Very
simply put,
interesting.
that. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. And then also, just for you guys to know, if you check the chat box, Sonia just pasted a link, and this link has been crazily helpful to like I think almost all devs out there who have come across it. Yeah, it's something that I'm also familiar with, so it would help you. It gives you like a clear roadmap that you can follow, a roadmap that is very reliable. So be it front end, back end, like whatever you're looking for, it helps you like define a path to follow. So over to you, Felix, for the back end part.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So, in order for you to become a backend developer, I always say this, at least I know the backend guys who not like it, but always try to learn the basis of yeah, always try to, at least you should know the basis of HTML and CSS, like the basis, how to center a div, most importantly.
How to
Yeah.
center
So
it. That has caused a lot of issues, I
yeah, you
guess.
learn, yeah. So you learn like the basis of HTML, CSS. Then afterwards, I think before you jump into like the backend itself, at least spend maybe some few days to learn about how the service works and other stuff. And also, most importantly, choose a backend framework, because there are a lot of options. If you decide to go with JavaScript, like yeah, you can pick JavaScript. There is JavaScript, there is Django, there is Python, like there is PHP and other options. So like you choose your preferred one. But normally, for example, if you're in Morocco and you want to learn backend, I would say maybe go with maybe Java or JavaScript. Yeah, because like the job, like there are a lot of open jobs for those kind of backend development, which that uses these kind of languages. So after spending some time on like the programming language of your choice, then maybe you can start looking into frameworks, because like most of these applications, you are going to use frameworks, not the language itself. So maybe for example, backend, when you choose JavaScript, maybe you would have to focus on the most popular one is Node.js, but there are other options like Nest and other stuff. Yeah, and also after choosing, like after spending some time, like also like once you choose a framework or a particular language that you want to learn as your backend for your backend, one thing also that you also have to learn like the different kind of APIs that we have, like the RESTful APIs there. But normally you go with the REST, which is the most common and popular. So you go with the REST, or maybe we have GraphQL, like even now they have microservices and other stuffs that you can also opt for. Like yeah, depending on how you want to build your backends. And also we have databases. So basically how you're going to store data in your, you're going to store data, yeah, you're going to store data. So databases like, and when it comes to database, we have like the relational database and the how do you call NoSQLs, like the, so when you take for example the relational ones, you can have options like MySQL, like Postgres and all those stuff. And the NoSQL databases, we have like the MongoDBs and other stuff. We have more advanced databases maybe. When it comes to caching, like you can go for Redis. Like these are things that you'd have to learn gradually. And after picking database, I think one important thing is also like for backend is you have to learn about this authentication and authorization stuffs, like, and also security, like authentication, authorization, security, web securities, and all those stuff. after learning all those stuff as well, also you have to, as a backend developer, you also focus on deployment as well, how to deploy your apps onto different platforms. Yeah, like you have to study the different deployment strategies and other stuff. And one thing I will also say is at least learn some little bit of how do you call DevOps as a backend engineer. Like
That's
you have
one.
to
We'll come
touch
to it.
DevOps. Yeah, yeah, you have to learn it. You have to learn DevOps a little bit, and yeah, I think yeah. These are like most of the basic stuff as a backend developers you need to really focus on. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I want to ask this person with this email. I don't know if you're on the call. Help me indicate. Pytas malaka43@gmail.com. I don't know if the person is here. Yeah, otherwise we'd skip the question. I think it was an interesting question. Yeah, but I would like to know if he's on the call or he or she is on the call. Otherwise, yeah, we have just 8 more minutes. So yeah, for those of you who are on the call currently, do you have any question you'd like to ask? Yeah, I want to give floor for that. Yeah, Simon is raising his hands. Okay, go ahead.
All right, good evening, everyone. So I actually have two questions, but I will go with one first since we have a limited time. So my question is: this call, is it majorly on the technical aspect of software engineering, or we could also get an advice on the business side, let's say project management?
I think yeah, I will just go with that. Yeah, quickly. We'll definitely have a session for that, but for today, this session is just on the technical aspect.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. You can ask your second question. Is it something technical or yeah?
Yeah, it's actually relating to the project management. So, but I will just reserve the question till the
Okay,
next
okay,
session.
yeah, we'll definitely have another session for that. Yeah.
All right.
So,
Thank you.
anyone else on the call having a question? Okay, trying to see if there's a hand that is being raised. Okay, I think today it was more focused on like the front end aspect. The next time, the next section would be,
Edric,
yeah.
there's a question in the chat. I don't know if you've seen it.
Okay, how can I get in touch for the next session? So I think uh there's the Instagram handle for this. It's called Tech Hangout. I think it would be good if you all just right now, if you're having your phone, just follow it so that you would be able to like see like informations ahead of time. Yeah. And then most likely I have like the contacts. Yeah, if you did add your WhatsApp contact, I'm most likely going to create a WhatsApp group and or a broadcasting list to be able to send. But I think the most assured one is having it following the Instagram handle Tech Hangout. Yeah. So just search
Yeah,
on.
maybe Shadrach, you can share in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, help me share. Help me. Yeah. Tech.hangout. Yeah, that's it on Instagram. Yeah, you guys should just go ahead and follow it because I'll be posting other things. Yeah, it's going to be easier for us to communicate that way. Yeah. So final words from the speakers. Yeah, if we're not having questions from those who are on the call, we do have questions from the the form. Yeah, but I think we're not having enough time, so I'm trying to prioritize those who are on the call. Can we get the lines of any of these speakers if possible? Yeah, I think that's also one of the reasons why we have this call, so you'll be able to connect with them. And I think they can drop one thing. I'm sure is they can drop their LinkedIn handle, because guys, LinkedIn is very important. Is one of the things I'll recommend you all should start working on. Yeah, so you guys uh try to connect with them on LinkedIn. It's the most uh important place. Yeah, that's very professional. So I think our speakers, you can try to paste your LinkedIn handle while I give Bright Longo uh the floor to ask his question.
Good evening, everyone,
Evening.
and thank you for the opportunity. I think I joined in the meeting quite late, but I found a very particular person talking about how they did not come from a background of having computer things related or computer subjects related. I was asking for such kind of particular person, any advice on how you built your confidence in the technology world or the computer programming thing. Thank you.
Okay, Sonia, over to you.
Okay. So for me, I don't think it's just something I've always wanted to do, right? Because I'm not coming from like a tech background or science background. So I would say just take it easy, right? You don't need to know everything because sometimes it can get overwhelming, like see people can do this and I cannot do this, like why can't I do this and all that. So I'll just say take your time. It can get hard, can get overwhelming, but just also try not to um let's say look at every sorry, there are a lot of tutorials online and there are a lot of advices and there are a lot of people that will give their 2 cents on how to do things, right? I'll just say take one part and stick to that part and don't try to, maybe there's a new thing coming up, you want to learn it because you want to stay up to date. No, just try to learn at your own pace also, right? Sometimes you may maybe you want to learn about APIs, for example. And I mean, I remember when I was trying to learn about APIs, it was so I didn't even understand what I was doing until like 3 months later into learning APIs, and it just clicked for me one day that, oh, okay, this is what I'm doing, and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I'll just say take it easy, and yeah, just take it easy. Try not to feel like you need to know everything at once. No, it doesn't work that way. Just like we always say, learn the basics, try and learn the basics. And if you need help, try to reach out to people. Also, maybe try to join communities also. I mean, I'm not a community person. I mean, some communities, and I'll say try to join communities, yeah, if you can. It will help you in your journey, seeing other people that are learning, and it also motivates you. I don't know if I answered your question.
Okay, interesting. So I think one thing I would say also apart from what she has said is you have to be passionate about it. It's something that you've realized, okay, uh, you want to do. Forget about your background. Forget about your background. You've seen there are a lot of people in this industry who didn't come from that science background. So you just ignore the background. You've realized what you want to do, pursue it, pick a roadmap. Like it has been, there's a link there. Pick a roadmap you want to follow. Get a course online, very helpful. Stick to it to the very end. Practice the basics, master it before you jump to something else. And then I think with time, I'll consider this aspect of a community to really, really help those who are interested to like have a community to help each and everyone who is learning to grow at their own pace. So it's something that she mentioned, which is very important, which I think it's something that as time goes on, we might have to do if need be. Yeah, so I think that's it. So final words from our speakers. We just have few seconds to go. Yeah, free things, they give us limited time, so they're ready. Ah! Ah! Jeez. Ah! Mm. Ah!